In the vibrant tapestry of Black Hollywood, few stars have managed to retain both artistic integrity and cultural relevance with the finesse of Larenz Tate. From his beginnings on the south side of Chicago to becoming a beloved and enduring figure in film and television, Tate's life story is one of ambition, transformation, and resilience. It is not merely the chronicle of an actor, but the unfolding of a man who used his platform to elevate stories of Black experience, love, and truth. Born on September 8, 1975, in Chicago, Illinois, Larenz Tate was the youngest of three boys raised in a household that emphasized discipline, education, and moral values. His parents, Larry and Peggy Tate, were instrumental in guiding their children away from the dangers of the streets and toward meaningful pursuits. Alongside his brothers, Laren and Lahmad, who would also later become active in the entertainment industry, Larenz developed a deep sense of loyalty and purpose that would remain central throughout his life. Brington Fuss, Lenny Hiva. When the Tate family relocated to Los Angeles in the early 1980s, they did so with no illusions about fame or fortune. Their focus was on giving their children opportunities. Enrolling the boys in a drama program at the Inner City Cultural Center was, at first, a practical way to keep them occupied and productive. However, what began as an extracurricular activity evolved into a calling for Larenz. After witnessing classmates booking television roles, a competitive spark ignited within him. He quickly embraced the craft of acting not merely as performance, but as a vehicle for personal expression. Larenz Tate began appearing on television in the mid to late 1980s, securing small roles in series such as The Twilight Zone, 21 Jump Street, The Wonder Years, and Family Matters. In Family Matters, he memorably played Willie Fufner, a school bully and foil to Jaleel White's Steve Urkel. These early roles, though modest, gave Tate a foothold in the industry and introduced him to the discipline required to succeed in Hollywood. However, it was in 1993 that his career took a pivotal turn. At just 17 years old, he was cast by the Hughes brothers in the gritty urban drama Menace to Society. Playing the unpredictable and violent O-Dog, Tate's performance was both chilling and magnetic. His portrayal of the teenage killer was not simply about menace, it revealed a frightening mirror of a society plagued by neglect, poverty, and systemic violence. O-Dog became a cultural symbol, raw, reckless, and unforgettable. Critics lauded Tate's performance, with many remarking on the stark contrast between his on-screen persona and his real-life demeanor. Behind O-Dog's fierce glare was an intelligent, soft-spoken young man whose real genius lay in his ability to transform. After proving he could deliver intensity, Tate sought a role that would broaden his appeal and showcase his versatility. In 1997, he starred opposite Nia Long in Love Jones, a soulful and intellectual romance set in the spoken-word poetry scene of Chicago. As Darius Lovehall, a suave poet navigating the complexities of love and vulnerability, Tate delivered a performance that was as poetic as it was powerful. His portrayal elevated the Black romantic genre, presenting a love story that was tender, cerebral, and emotionally rich. Though not a box office juggernaut, Love Jones resonated deeply with audiences and quickly became a cult classic. To this day, it is referenced as one of the most authentic portrayals of Black love in American cinema. Tate, once feared as O-Dog, had now become the voice of a generation yearning for connection and meaning. Tate continued to challenge himself with layered, emotionally demanding roles. In Dead Presidents, 1995, he reunited with the Hughes brothers to portray Anthony Curtis, a young man whose service in the Vietnam War leaves him disillusioned and desperate. The role demanded a journey from youthful idealism to post-war trauma, and Tate delivered a nuanced performance that underscored the racial and economic injustice faced by many Black veterans. Over the next decade, Tate appeared in a variety of films that demonstrated his range. He took on real-life roles, such as musician Frankie Lyman in Why Do Fools Fall in Love, 1998, and Quincy Jones in Ray, 2004, where he starred alongside Jamie Foxx. He also dipped into action and thrillers, appearing in films like A Man Apart with Vin Diesel and Waist Deep. In the 2000s, Tate also began taking on meaningful television roles. He had a significant arc in FX's Rescue Me as Bart Black Sean Johnston, and later appeared in House of Lies and Game of Silence. These roles solidified his place in both mainstream and culturally specific media spaces. His role as Councilman Rashad Tate in Power and Power Book 2, Ghost introduced him to a new generation. As the charming yet calculating politician, Tate once again reinvented himself, this time as a man navigating the dark intersections of politics, ambition, and corruption. Away from the spotlight, Larenz Tate is a devoted family man. In 2006, he married Thomasina Parrott, a former dancer and actress. The couple has 4 children, and Tate is known for fiercely guarding their privacy. He has often spoken about the importance of raising his children with strong values, far from the chaos of Hollywood. Tate also works closely with his brothers through their production company, Tate Men Entertainment, which seeks to amplify underrepresented voices and create content that uplifts and educates. The brothers share not only a creative vision, but a mission rooted in empowerment. In addition to his work in entertainment, Larenz is active in philanthropy, particularly around sickle cell anemia, a disease that has personally affected his family. He is involved in advocacy and speaks regularly about health awareness in Black communities. What sets Larenz Tate apart from many of his peers is his remarkable consistency, range, and evolution. Over more than 3 decades in the industry, he has portrayed some of the most iconic characters in Black cinema and television. From the frightening realism of O-Dog to the intellectual sensuality of Darius Lovehall and the political cunning of Larenz Tate, he has proven himself to be a dynamic and deeply thoughtful artist. Beyond the roles, Larenz Tate's influence lies in the dignity with which he carries his career, his refusal to be pigeonholed, and his unwavering commitment to authentic storytelling. He stands not just as an actor, but as a cultural bridge between generations, respected by his peers, loved by audiences, and admired by those he's inspired. While many stars make headlines for their luxurious lifestyles, Larenz Tate has quietly amassed an estimated net worth of $4 to $6 million through consistent acting work, wise investments, family collaboration, and a long-term commitment to storytelling. His wealth, like his career, is purpose-driven, family-rooted, and community-aware. Larenz Tate began working in the entertainment industry at a young age, which meant he had early exposure to money, but also to its volatility. As a child actor, Tate earned moderate pay for roles in shows like The Twilight Zone, 21 Jump Street, The Wonder Years, and Family Matters. These weren't millionaire-making gigs, but they were critical for building early experience and instilling financial discipline. Under the guidance of his parents, particularly his father, Tate was taught to value consistency over flash, and that approach would come to define both his career and his financial trajectory. The breakout moment came in 1993 when Tate was cast as O-Dog in the gritty drama Menace II Society. The film became a cultural lightning bolt, grossing over $27 million on a budget of just $3.5 million. Tate's fee for the role wasn't public, but it catapulted him into a different pay grade almost overnight. While O-Dog made him famous, it was the business awareness that followed which made him financially stronger. By leveraging his popularity after Menace II Society, Tate began securing more lucrative contracts and became a sought-after talent in Black cinema throughout the 90s. The mid to late 1990s saw Larenz Tate evolve from rising actor to leading man. In films such as Dead Presidents, 1995, Love Jones, 1997, and Why Do Fools Fall in Love, 1998, he not only demonstrated range, but also increased his earning power. Each new project brought higher paychecks, profit shares, and royalties from cult status films that found a second life on home video and streaming platforms. In particular, Love Jones, though not a blockbuster, became a cultural and financial asset in the long run. Today, the movie is frequently aired on cable networks, sold in digital formats, and licensed for streaming, contributing residual income that adds to Tate's wealth. Few actors from that era can claim such consistent replay value and cultural staying power from their catalog. One of the smartest moves Larenz Tate made was transitioning from performer to owner. Along with his brothers Lamard and Laren, he founded Tate Men Entertainment, a production company focused on creating stories by and about people of color. This venture wasn't just a creative platform. It was a business decision that allowed the Tate brothers to control content, retain rights, and earn back-end profits from projects they developed. While Tate Men hasn't released major blockbusters, it has produced documentaries, short films, and digital content that reflects their values. In Hollywood, intellectual property ownership is the ultimate financial shield. By retaining creative control, Tate earns not only from acting, but from producing, licensing, and distributing content, a move that gives him equity, not just salary. This family-led venture also reflects how Tate views wealth, not just as personal gain, but as something to be shared, grown, and passed down. It represents the cornerstone of his financial legacy. Though his film career put him on the map, it's television that ensured long-term wealth for Larenz Tate. In the 2000s, he secured a recurring role on FX's Rescue Me, which gave him steady pay over several seasons. Then came Showtime's House of Lies, where he appeared alongside Don Cheadle, further reinforcing his place in prestige television. But it was his portrayal of Councilman Larenz Tate in Starz' Power and Power Book 2, Ghost, that reintroduced him to a younger audience and significantly boosted his income. The Power franchise is one of the most watched and highest-earning cable dramas of the decade. As a recurring and then main character, Tate reportedly earned $35,000 to $50,000 per episode, potentially more, as his character grew in prominence. With dozens of appearances, this role alone may have contributed well over $1 million to his net worth. His involvement with Power also strengthened his personal brand, leading to more offers, endorsements, and professional collaborations, further expanding his wealth. Cult me. Larenz Tate is not known for flaunting wealth, but his real estate investments are believed to be a quiet source of financial strength. He owns property in the Los Angeles area, where real estate values have soared over the past decade. Property ownership, particularly in high-demand zip codes, offers long-term appreciation, tax benefits, and equity growth, making it a wise asset class for a celebrity of his stature. In addition to property, Tate is believed to have invested in private business ventures and financial instruments that provide passive income. While he hasn't publicized a stock portfolio or endorsement-heavy lifestyle, his public interviews often emphasize long-term wealth preservation rather than fast money. Beyond screen acting, Larenz Tate has also built financial value through his voice and presence. He has lent his voice to various narrations, documentaries, and audio projects, often uncredited but well compensated. These engagements are often low-key yet lucrative, with some voiceover work paying thousands of dollars per session. Additionally, Tate is a sought-after speaker at universities, cultural festivals, and non-profit events. His reputation for being well-spoken, thoughtful, and grounded makes him a preferred guest on panels about Black culture, Hollywood equity, and youth empowerment. These appearances sometimes come with honoraria or sponsorship partnerships, contributing quietly but effectively to his wealth. One of the most defining traits of Larenz Tate's financial life is his intentional lifestyle. Married to Thomasina Parrott since 2006 and a father of 4 sons, Tate has structured his career around family. He avoids scandal, limits social media presence, and doesn't chase high-status celebrity culture. That restraint is an act of wealth preservation in itself. By not overspending, not overexposing his children, and staying selective about roles, Tate has protected both his peace and his pockets. In interviews, he emphasizes passing on financial literacy and integrity to his children, showing that for him, wealth is a tool for building legacy, not vanity. In a culture where celebrity wealth is often measured by excess, Larenz Tate's financial story offers a counter-narrative, one of thoughtful planning, creative ownership, family alignment, and cultural purpose. With a net worth estimated between $4 to $6 million, he may not be among the richest stars in Hollywood, but few have matched his consistency, influence, and respect. His fortune is not just in dollars, but in the freedom he has earned, the freedom to raise his children with dignity, to tell meaningful stories, to uplift his community, and to create from a place of authenticity. For Larenz Tate, true wealth is not measured by what he shows, but by what he builds.